Hi, everybody. This is Brandon. I just want to have a quick message before the episode starts, and I want to say thank you to Luis for helping us with this episode. This should have been out last Sunday, but unfortunately, we were running into inconsistencies with the audio, and he was able to repair it and get it working for us again. So, again, thank you, Luis. And we also wanted to include a trigger warning. In this episode, we do discuss sexual assault. To be more specific, we do discuss rape because it is a subject that happens in the movie of Wind River. And so I just wanted to give a heads up just in case. We absolutely appreciate everybody listening to our show so far. And we hope you continue hearing us talk about shit. So thank you so much. Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of Specrapular. I am one of your hosts, Brandon. Person to the left of me, which is my best friend. And what is your name again, sir?
Mike.
Mike. And today we are reviewing the movie Wind River, which, fuck. I mean, I don't know where to start.
First thing, I notice when I speak, I have a lot of, mushy mouth wah-wahs, So trying to say Wind River like
It's
50
Wind
times,
River.
it's going to be it's going to be a little dicey.
Like Barbara Walters.
Yeah.
Wind River.
We
And you might have heard some other feminine giggling in the background. And
also not mine. Another
Correct.
person's feminine giggles. Okay.
Correct. And we are joined today by our friend. Actually, she was my friend first. No, I'm not counting. But joined by our friend Megan.
Hello.
And so Megan, welcome.
Thanks for having me
Yeah, of course.
in
of
my
course.
house.
Yeah, in your in your large home, we are here. But so there was a mix-up initially, and so Mike and I in the last episode, we talked about Wind River. We talked about Akira a little bit, like why we couldn't watch it, why we couldn't watch that. And that was because when I had searched for Akira, didn't see it on Hulu. But then when we got to Megan's,
Well,
today,
it's all the way down there in the A's.
It's
So it's
all the way
tough. Sure, it
down
was
there
hard
in
to
the
There's a
find.
lot of numerical movies first that showed up. There was 12 Monkeys. Then there was Arctic Monkeys that was also before. I don't know why that'd be before.
Did you
Akira.
type it out as a Kira?
Yeah, ask Kira. But so I didn't see it. So that's why.
Starts with an A. How hard can it be?
That's why we watched Wind River instead. But Megan did point out.
All the way in W.
So that's why we watched Wind River. So again, I apologize about that, Megan. And so now Megan's going to be in 2 episodes now. So as a spoiler, Megan will be in the next episode too. And so we will watch Akira, which is a animated movie that you have not seen.
I have not seen. I actually have been wanting to see it just because I like anime, and that's like the frontier of anime films.
Right.
All that good stuff.
Yeah, it's very well known for its animation style, like the way it was done. Just like how whatever his name is has done like Howls and Spirited
Mizugaki.
Away and
Yep.
stuff. Was it?
Mizugaki.
What about
Miyazaki.
Bukaki?
Hayao.
Oh boy.
Hayao Miyazaki. You guys,
Okay.
come on.
Well, yeah, so he's great, and I have seen Akira.
Wait, but he has nothing to do with that movie, right?
No.
No.
But I have seen Akira a couple times, and I would absolutely watch it again because it's just a magnificent movie to watch. Now, story wise, I mean, but we'll get into that. So today we're
I
here.
haven't seen 2 minutes of any anime ever in the history
That
of
sucks.
my eyes.
Ouch.
There's a lot of really great.
You're not
anime.
I
invited to
saw
the next
that
episode.
Hentai too.
that little bit of oh does that count? Well, in that case,
I mean,
I'm an expert.
Yeah, all those
If
tentacles you've
it's
seen.
produced from Japan, it's anime, no matter.
Oh, they make animated movies over there.
Is that what they do? Okay.
Only that's their
Like
personality.
I think I told you,
Yeah.
I saw like 5 seconds of that Street Fighter anime from like the 90s.
80s? Okay, yeah,
Oh,
late
from the
80s or
80s. I was
90s.
like-
Yeah.
And like it bummed me out. That's solid tech.
Well, there was one.
That's all you
haven't
picked up from
gone back.
anime.
Yeah, there was the one that I saw, which was where Ryu.
Pikachu's in all of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
just checking.
Yeah.
Pikachu,
I'm no
Misty,
expert.
Brock.
There's Raichu. You got to
There's
get
dragons
Pikachu
and balls.
The Dragon.
Dragon Z balls.
Dragon Z balls.
Yeah. So we watched Wind River, and Mike, why don't you tell us a little bit about that movie?
All right, so Wind River from 2017. A veteran hunter helps an FBI agent investigate the murder of a young woman on a Wyoming Native American reservation.
Correct.
So
And I would like to think that we're all on the same page here and talking about this movie, but again, it was a fucking bummer.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Like it
But
was
I liked it a lot the first time I saw it.
right.
Me
Wait,
too.
I still like it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
But
I liked it.
I
At
liked
first,
when
and
I
then
saw it.
again.
It was,
It was terrible.
Yeah, first time I saw it, hated it. Second time
which
I saw
has
it,
happened. Like when we
Oh, really?
rewatched. Oh
Yeah.
my god, what movie did we rewatch?
Nice Guys.
Nice Guys. I didn't hate it, but I liked it less the second time I saw it. And this one was, oh my god, this is so much bleaker than I thought the first time I watched it, but still enjoyed it.
Yeah. It was it
Those
was
are my
a-
initial thoughts.
Yeah. And even the first time I saw it is when I think either we're on our way to Spain. I was trying to flex Megan went to Spain. It was years ago. But I don't know if it
Was
was on
that
our
when we
way.
were on the first private jet or the second private jet?
I don't know if it was when I was eating
You mean
all
the
that
trip where you
caviar.
didn't get that acoustic guitar?
Yeah, yeah.
That
Yeah.
Custom
authentic
made, yeah.
Spanish
Yeah,
guitar.
the one that you went back for to look like or something, and it just how would you have brought it back? You don't want it to get damaged and stuff. So I get it. You're an idiot. But I don't know if I was on the way there or on the way back, but I just remember watching it thinking like, man, this fucking sucks. Like it just bummed me out.
I feel bad for whoever was sitting next to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, whoever that was, I mean, if they looked over and saw, they would have been like, what the fuck is this guy? I was trying to like. But so this movie was a bummer. So it was Jeremy Renner, Elizabeth Olsen, and then two of the three only Native American actors that everybody shows, which were, because I put it in our title for, I thought I put it right here too. The dad of, shit, what was her
Of
name
the
in the
victim,
movie?
Natalie?
Natalie.
Yeah, of Natalie, yes. He was the dad in Kimmy Schmidt of Jenna.
Gail Birmingham, if I can read my own writing.
Well, I don't know if I'm mistaken.
Well,
for
the
another
other
actor.
cop, Graham Greene.
He's been
in
on
everything.
Dance with Wolves,
Yeah.
like everything. And the other Native American actor that I always think of is the I think the first time I saw him was either in Joe Dirt or if it was the Code Breaker, like the because the Native American was that Nick Cage in that movie. But it was shit. His name is I had them all listed. It's Adam Beach, the most not Native American name I've ever seen, but he's one of the only ones. And then the police chief, the sheriff that you said. So, I mean, their gang's all here. So whenever you needed a Native American movie, cast them.
Yeah. Apparently, a lot of them are in the Twilight movies. I have not seen them.
Yeah,
though,
why do
so
we
I
look
could-
at
I
Megan
could
when
not-
we
Yeah.
Megan?
Why you look at it? Just because of Mo.
This is why we
yeah.
brought you here
Oh,
for
okay.
our Twilight
Just-
update.
Yeah.
Which I have.
And you
none.
dropped the ball.
I only read the books.
So much for the.
I-
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird.
Let me
flex.
guess. The books are like so much better.
Yeah.
It's like-
So.
Those mediums, you can't even compare the two of them because
I
Actually-
didn't know Lee Pace was in the Twilight movies. I know he has nothing to
Oh,
do
that's
with
right, huh? Yeah.
this movie.
That's a handsome
he
guy.
was in
Pushing Daisies, and he's Ronan in the.
yeah, I
Guardians
knew
of
he
the
was Ronan
Galaxy.
in Guardians, but he
Yeah.
was also in *Halt and Catch Fire*, which I greatly
Yeah.
like that show too.
Mm-hmm.
And so was my favorite not Skeet Ulrich. I'm sorry.
I mean, Skeet is your favorite, but
Yeah. Remember we made the joke. It was like Scoot, and the guy's name Scoot McNeary, I think his name was, and then you're like his brother Scat, and we couldn't think of it. So anyway, Megan, what was this was your first time seeing this movie?
Yes.
What was your general take on that?
I liked that they didn't completely disclose the relationship between Jeremy Renner and his ex-wife.
Yeah.
You know, it was just instead of a whole, hey, we're divorced and I'm going to take my kid for the weekend because this is how our joint custody, and even though it was obvious, I was still like, wait, what is their relationship? I still don't know. And just how they were implying about their daughter, still didn't know. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the suspense. I think I read a different synopsis because it said like, oh, then there's someone who's playing games with them.
Yeah, you read
From-
something way wrong. Maybe
Yeah,
you
I
read
was
like
like, what is-
Dreamcatcher
yeah.
or something.
What was the one that came out like a year ago with the handsome Irish guy? What the hell is his name? Michael Fassbender. He's Irish,
The
right?
Snowman.
Yeah.
That was a couple years ago, actually.
Okay.
Maybe.
That
That
movie was-
was supposed to be
Anyway.
That
terrible.
movie was horrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was-
Which I think has a killer who's like obsessed with him or something. and
Something
that's-
like that. But
that might be what you read.
Well,
Yeah.
either way, you read something wrong, Megan.
Yeah.
So,
sorry.
are you sure you watched the right movie?
I'm
certain you did because you
had
talked about the
Jennifer
divorce.
Lawrence.
Yeah, like there's a
I think?
guy
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
has a bow and arrow, and the other girl has some red shit come out of her hands. That's what we're watching,
When
right?
Brandon,
Yeah.
when
There's some
Brandon
guy made of
first,
iron of some sort.
Some type of metal.
Yeah,
No.
some type of metallic. I don't know. And some computer was talking to him. So, I mean, as we've already said many times, this movie is a bummer. Is this something that either one of you like
Love bummers.
Right. So this came out in 2017, and from my understanding, I didn't hear a lot of buzz about it. Like it wasn't like a lot of awards and stuff. Do you think this should have been up for any kind of debate for any kind of award?
Well, I didn't look up like the movies in 2017, but I really liked it when I saw it that year.
Did you see it in theater?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's weird. I don't remember being invited to something like that, but I mean, it's fine, I guess.
Well, this is right after Hell or High Water. Oh my God, I always want to say his name's Tyler, but it's Taylor Sheridan.
Together.
And he just got the Oscar nominations. It was like, oh, it's his
You
first.
got nominated for that? Hell or
Yeah.
High Water? Okay.
When was Sicario released?
Oh my God.
I'd say at least 2018. Then.
I mean,
Okay,
let's
so
go.
It would
this
have to be after
after.
Wind River, wasn't
After? No way.
it? Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, let's see.
I'm assuming it's like year. So if this is 17, Hell or High Water
Sicario-
16, Sicarios 15.
Okay, so Sicario was 2015.
Booyah, nailed it.
And then
I accept your apology.
the day of the Soldado was 2018. So that did you actually see Sicario too?
Yeah, it was
Great.
good.
Yeah, it was great. So anyway, so our first impressions, I mean, Mike's and I it was a bummer.
Yeah.
Megan, I mean, would you say, I would hope you would say this movie's a bummer. It's like at the end of this movie, you're very uplifted. And
Yeah,
like,
I would say I'm glad. I know we're gonna backpedal back and forth, but I'm glad it ended the way it did because it felt so gratifying after that one scene. And I'm just
the shootout, you can talk about any part of the movie.
okay.
Like,
So
it's- yeah.
this, or I don't know how you want to do it linearly, or if you want to
No,
go.
you
back
can say
and forth.
whatever. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
your
towards
Yeah.
the reveal, she's raped,
Mm-hmm.
and that's I have friends who are victims, and it's I like how or I don't like it, but it's nice that they made it so real and just disturbing.
Right.
Like it's never meant to be fantasized at all about it, and yeah, I'm glad that it didn't last any longer than
Yeah.
it was shown for. But just the whole scene after that, where it's like all that redemption and they're like all the drill, what's their occupation? Drillers, drillmen.
They're
They're security
for
for-
oil rigs.
for-
Okay,
Yeah,
oil rigs, where they were all shot, and I was like, I verbally said, "Fuck yeah."
Yeah. It's a
And-
pretty satisfying, conclusion to the
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
the shootouts and that sort of stuff.
Another part I noted down was when they were searching or when they were walking to the units. One of the cops was like, "Why are you flanking me?" And I was like, "I have no idea what that means." And so I
Yeah.
looked it up, and I was like, "Oh, it's a tactic where
Yeah,
on
a
the side,
tactical
yeah.
move. Yeah, to
Yeah,
just get
and-
the advantage.
I played it back to see if they would show it in the scene, but you don't even really see it yourself.
No.
So you're kind of in the same position as Elizabeth Olsen, where it's like, what happened? And the cop's like, you didn't see that.
That guy
You
was
didn't see
on
that."
it.
Yeah,
Like,
he was.
he knew
Yeah,
the
he
score.
was. He was really like just you didn't see it. You
Yeah.
didn't, and that was also kind of a bummer too.
Well, yeah, which makes his death that much sadder.
Yeah,
because,
he's like, let's fucking go, and then it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like when she sounded like, oh, put your gun down or you're arrested, deputy.
Yeah.
And he's like, you didn't see it. You didn't. Like you can
Yeah.
see in his eyes, like, oh, this
Yeah.
is not going to end well for us.
yeah. I was thinking about that as that she could have maybe even said, not even her, just one of anybody could be like, hey, just make sure you told that we're gonna be here, right? Just so that way they don't think the security guards don't think like, fuck, we can't just kill them and nobody's gonna come looking for them.
Yeah.
Like they know they're here.
That's kind of like a thing. Like a lot of people. Well, there's both people who aren't paying attention, but there's a lot of like intuition in the movie. That cop, for one, Jeremy Renner, who's just I don't know the all-seeing eagle man.
He's the watcher.
He just knows
Yeah.
all and sees all. But even like Barenthal and Natalie, like they know when the drunken buddies come back in. Like he knows it's bad news. Like get out of there.
yeah,
It's like-
that just
which I mean, if you should have did a little more planning, like just not been
Well,
the hell
she
in
just
there,
showed up. It wasn't like that was planned. Because remember, she was knocking on the door, and he's
Yeah.
like, "What are you doing here?"
But-
mean,
But I
he's-
like both of them. They know, like, oh, this is not, like, this is
Yeah.
a bad situation from the word go.
But I like how Barenthal was like, "Hey, can you hold this guy back?" And it was just so it's just so like livid. I was just so livid when they weren't doing anything.
Yeah, it was, as you said a minute ago too, Megan, like it was rewarding knowing that they all got destroyed, but unfortunately the local police got destroyed too.
I know. That was
Right. And like, even so, when I first watched this movie, I think when she got shot through the door, I jumped physically. I was like, "Duh!" Even though I kind of thought something would be coming, because when he said like, "Oh, she's standing right in front of the door."
Oh yeah.
Like, and when I would watch other cop dramas and stuff, like they'd always kind of like knock from the side and not stand directly in front of the door. So I don't know how it...
Does it have to do with like her being a rookie?
That's what I was thinking, is that she might not just be as...
Like not have the tactics.
Well,
yeah.
So, I mean, I know... So I did, like, I kind of like looked through IMDb trivia.
There's no research allowed in this. You just gotta go by the seat of your pants.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much her role is I guess, integral, because in a reservation, I think it's like the cops there don't really have much authority, even though there are cops there, but because they are part of the reservation, not part of federal law, they can't really do anything about it. So she has to be the one
because it's a murder.
Yeah, that's why she said
she has to come in, right?
Yeah, she also said she's FBI, so she's federal.
Yeah.
So she can uphold that law that's there. Like, even though they're on federal land, like, so yeah, the local cops have nothing, they can't say shit, but then she can. That's why she took that.
But maybe because she was a rookie in that environment and just with that kind of crowd where they're all like, I'm just going to point my gun at you because I don't trust you, even though with that kind of behavior, holding a gun, it's like, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, anytime a gun's pointed at you, I think it's not a good uplifting situation. Like, hey man, yeah, point that closer to my temple, or point that more at my big ass forehead, and I think that'd be great. Do you have a laser sight on that, like in Predator 2? Like, God, Predator 2.
Yeah.
There's so many fucking laser scopes in that. So, one of the very first notes that I wrote is that wolves are huge, and so in this,
I think he was shooting coyotes.
He was.
Okay.
But like, because when he shot that, I was like, well, first, that wasn't a real coyote that he shot. There's no fucking way. I'm just saying, it was digital.
Yeah, they're not going to shoot coyote for a movie.
Aren't they? Didn't old horses get destroyed when they filmed, like, fucking, what's that, Spartacus?
Gladiator?
Didn't horses get hurt in that?
I mean,
like
but also,
in like
how old is that
1960?
movie?
Yeah, they had to have been.
Maybe.
Okay, anyway. But just realizing that, again, coyotes are humongous animals. Oh, I'm sorry, wolves are humongous animals. Coyotes are just little skittish dogs. But... yeah, it made me think, like, because I've seen videos of wolves, like, putting their arms on people's shoulders, how they're, like, taller than an average person.
Huge, yeah.
They're scary as shit. But I'd love to just snuggle one. Like, if they're friendly or, like, drugged
Just
up
go
or
to a
something.
wolf sanctuary. Be like,
You're going to wear the
"Nice knuckle,
glass knuckles like Liam Neeson?
Yeah. Too. The little bottles, I'm going to break them. And I'm going to wrap them.
Just in case.
Yeah. Just in case the alpha.
At a sanctuary.
Yeah. At a sanctuary.
Yeah.
Sir, could you not?
They're, like, licking my arms. Die! What's a fucking wolf's name in a movie that would...
Balto?
Was it?
Teen Wolf?
Teen Wolf.
Wow. American Werewolf in Paris? No, what was the one? It was an animated movie. It's the one I'm thinking of.
Wait. Say that again.
Oh, Ghost
Ghost?
from Game of Thrones. He's a wolf.
Okay, so
Are you talking about direwolves from Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Oh,
Namira?
Namira.
I didn't watch that show. I don't know what you're talking
Okay,
about.
fine. Then Jacob from Twilight.
Okay, there
He's
we go.
technically a wolf.
Die, Jacob! As I'm punching the nice, friendly wolf in the face. And when I'm punching, it's already at my chest, so I'm going like this.
Yeah.
You guys can't see it, like, listening, but I'm punching like I'm drumming. Anyway, what were you going to say, Mike? I'm sorry.
I lost
Oh, no. Wolves, scary smart. Because we went to one of those, went to the Grand Canyon, and they had one of those, nature drive-throughs. So you just stay in your car.
Yeah.
And we're in this big old, like, camper. And they're like, pull the plastic little caps off of your bumper because the wolves love them. I don't know. I guess like chewing.
Huh.
So we go through and there's wolves like coming up. And they beeline for those things. They're like, oh, let's get some plastic. But they were not there. Like,
Is it just like a toy to them?
I guess so. They just love them, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe they're
But, like,
constantly teething, so they just use the plastic to just, like, make their teeth nice
They're
and
like,
sharp.
he's like looking at me. He's like,
And
it's
the
either the
gums
plastic or your
are
arm, buddy. I'm
cut.
going to gnaw on something.
Yeah. It's either your femur or your fucking Nissan bumper, because you better choose wisely, motherfucker. You got 10 seconds. I do like that Renner was teaching his son trigger discipline and, like, not to point your gun. Because, throughout the movie, he constantly had his gun like parallel to his body.
Yep.
He wasn't having, like, running it in front with the barrel in front of him and stuff. I think the first time someone really taught me about that, besides not having your finger on the trigger, always, like, around it, was our old friend Tom. Tom from Man Beast, Tom. Okay.
I
So
don't think you ever brought up Man Beast yet, and
I haven't. I've never said it directly.
Yeah.
I usually edit a lot of that stuff out. I've edited your name out of this thing like 3 times because I brought your name up many times. I'm just kidding.
My name
Megan.
anonymous. Thank you.
So I met Megan many years ago, about a decade ago, through our mutual friend
Yeah.
Randall. And Randall had a class with you, I believe, at our college.
I think it was editing.
Okay.
Or, yeah.
Linear editing, or is it just regular?
I think it was non-linear editing.
Okay, yeah,
I don't
no,
think they
okay.
ever really had.
I don't think
funding
that
for linear
matters.
editing.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Was it linear or was it non-linear or was?
It was parallel.
Okay, good. But
Perpendicular editing.
so Randall introduced us, and I pitched Megan the idea for the web series. And I have said this before, that we wouldn't have a web series without Megan's help, because we started with her camera, her computer, her editing, and stuff like that.
Her house.
Yeah.
Oh, we weren't using her house originally.
No, we were using Brandon's.
Yeah, we were using
house,
mine when
for a
we
good
lived in
chunk of it.
Fullerton. And then we used Rose's after that, and then Megan's at the end. But anyway, what was I getting? Oh yeah, so Tom, he's an actor in that show, and there was a time when I think we were filming the Airsoft episode, and I think the Dave character at that time, he was holding it like this, just
Yeah, he was
towards
like-
Tom, or no, well, initially it was kind of towards Tom,
Oh,
and his
okay.
fingers on the trigger, and Tom was like, "Whoa, bro!" And you got to hold it like this, and you got to like this, and take your finger off this. And I remember thinking to myself, man, that's one thing I've ever learned from Tom is trigger discipline, and
It's
and
buried
that's it.
all under the Elmo.
Oh yeah, like
impersonation.
because yeah. So everybody, if you haven't seen our web series, but the person that Tom portrayed he can do multiple characters. So he's done like Yoda. I don't think he ever did Elmo in the show, but he can do Elmo.
He did it off in between tanks.
Yeah,
So many times.
and it was frighteningly good. Just like even his Yoda wasn't that bad, and yeah. I mean, I hope nothing but the best for that guy. But anyway, enough about why are you guys looking at me? Enough about Tom.
So anyway, but I think back to that episode, and I think that picture you guys took. One of you guys was holding the gun next, like you were bending the elbow, you're pointing the gun up. Mm-hmm. Like just
Seems about
completely
right. Seems like a
incorrect.
good position to have, because I think we're holding rifles, airsoft rifles.
Yeah.
But like if that was a real gun, I mean,
I noticed that in like every movie now. I'm like, ooh, like, and they're like law enforcement characters. I'm like, what?
like they're running like with the gun like pointed in front,
I
like,
like
as it was
that.
going. Like at least Elizabeth Olsen,
Or just pointing them at people with their finger on the. I'm like, what
Yeah.
is happening?
Pointed
when she was-
down the whole time.
Yeah, when she was going through the guys' like trailers or whatever, the gun was down. I couldn't tell if her finger wasn't on the trigger. But realistically, in that situation, knowing that there's a potential threat in here, I might have my finger on that fucking trigger. Like that 1 second it takes me to bring it over and to go across, and she fucking lit that guy up.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah, she put a hole-
The Sam, yeah,
yeah.
there was a hole
She
in
did
his
not
cheek.
blink.
There's a couple in his chest,
Yep.
and I like how the Ben character, which is the sheriff, was like, "Oh yeah, let's just go," and she's like, "No, he's not dead." He's like, "Yeah," but by the time
He's bleeding out of his throat.
yeah, his fucking face got a bullet through it. He had like at least 3 or 4 in his chest. Like,
Yeah.
you're fucking dead.
He's gargling blood. He's like, what? He can still talk.
Yeah, he can still pull through, chief. Like, no.
She holds up the picture with like the faces, like on a scale of this face to this one, how close to dead are you? I'm an 8.
And a quick and just
The last one is just the face with just the X's on the eyes.
yeah. And the camera goes to her, it goes back to him, and the X's are there. But no, I did like that he was teaching his son that the proper way to hold a gun.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of the sun in the movie.
How did he say it? He was like, loaded or not, the gun's full.
Correct. Loaded or not, or no, I think it's, yeah, exactly. You
Well,
want
no,
to
you
treat
treat
it
every gun like
as
it's
if it is.
loaded.
Yeah.
Even if you know it's not. For 100%, nothing in the chamber, nothing in the well, depending what kind of gun you have. But like, as long, it doesn't matter. It should always be treated that way.
Yep.
I don't own a gun. I like the idea of guns, but I don't think I would
Thought you
ever
were gonna
need
say, I
one.
like
I like the idea of
owning a
tiny
gun.
explosions in my hand.
Yeah. You don't love me. You love the idea of me. Anybody?
Nope.
Barbara Streisand? Okay. Well,
Still no.
I guess.
Oh, Meet the Fockers? Yeah. I love
Yeah,
that movie
it was
too.
me. Yeah. She's eating the foreskin.
Wait, she's not in that one. She's in the third
Star
one.
is born.
No, she's in Meet the
I don't
Fockers.
know.
She's the mom. She's Greg's mom.
Is she in the first?
Oh.
No, she's the second one.
The
But Meet the Fockers
Fockers,
is the
got
second
it.
one.
Oh, what am I thinking? Meet the Parents.
Meet the Parents is just, De Niro.
Man, please edit this out, bro.
Nope,
This is so
that is
embarrassing.
staying in
I'm
there.
not
Yeah,
gonna
you call
live-
yourself a movie
I'm gonna have to
person?
live with myself.
You are one pathetic loser.
Wow.
So when we talked about Renner, though, knowing the all-seeing everything, that is another note I put, too. That he's a fucking
He's a
legit-
superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, oh, you look at this track. But every single time, like, I wish I knew how to look at stuff that way. Like, oh, you look at her toes, you see that they're dipping, and you know she's running, and that okay, sure,
Yeah.
that would make sense 100%. But if I looked at that with the knowledge I have now, cool, those are footprints. Like that's all I would think.
It's fitting for his character because it implies, or it implies in the beginning he's a hunter,
Right.
And so for him noticing tracks and how some bodies when it falls onto the ground, being in that climate,
Yep.
as his livelihood.
Well, I mean, it kind of answers the question like right after that happens, because when they find the body and he says, "Oh, you can see this pool of blood here because the cold air got
lungs,
into her lungs," and then like the next scene is at the coroner and he says the exact same thing, like, "Oh yeah, he was." Not that he
Yeah.
didn't think he was right, but it literally he says the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Like Renner caught it automatically.
But I like how she hears it from Jeremy first, so by the time the coroner discloses that information, it makes a lot more sense.
Right.
Did it seem like the coroner was sort of mansplaining a little bit?
I
kind of felt
Did
like
it-
he was. I mean, maybe that's just because he's just like, nope, I can't do that. I can't make this a homicide or whatever. Maybe he's just being like direct.
I don't know. They kind of.
But
I
it
think
seemed
there
like
was a
he
lot
was
of
kinda-
passion coming from Elizabeth Olsen's character, which
Right.
is completely understandable.
Right.
And even like how the sheriff said, like he's on our side.
Right.
And I see that too from how he explains it. It's like by however procedure is, how she died
Right.
wasn't
A murder.
based off of
Right.
off a homicide. It's like he said,
She
like
died
Jeremy
of the
said,
elements.
from yeah.
And which is, I mean, yeah, he's not wrong. That is how she did pass away. But obviously, he knows that there's trauma to her vagina, and I mean, she had the bludgeon, like the hit to the
laceration,
head. Yeah.
all that, yeah.
So it's, I mean, the evidence is there,
yeah.
but she died from this.
Yeah.
It sucks because I think it goes back to how things are handled on a reservation. Is she can't, I forget what she said, but she can't further investigate if it's not labeled as a
Yeah.
homicide.
She can't get
Her
any
team.
more help from the
Yeah,
FBI if
which-
it's not a murder.
Which sucks because
Yeah.
it seems like that's the obvious solution, but there's all these loopholes that go against her.
All women. I mean, even
Yeah.
in this situation, like, even with her clearly being raped. Well, I guess at this time they don't know for certain because, like, they said that there was multiple like
Trauma.
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
ultimately,
Multiple.
that's what she's assuming, which obviously she's right.
I'm kind of saying it in the sense that just based off what the coroner's reporting to her, she can't really do much as
Oh,
in
Elizabeth
her
Olsen.
position. Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't pick up any condescending tone from him. It
Right.
was just like this is all I can do. I can't fabricate it any other way. And
It just kind of seemed like just inner department kind of back and
But-
forth between professionals,
Yeah,
and
but
they're just
because-
trying to cut through
Yeah.
the tape.
but because of how the victim, how the victim came or how they found the victim is like you really want to label it as a homicide because that was like that rape was the last thing before she died, which is terrible. It's like traumatizing. And so I'm thinking any woman who is experiencing another victim from that is just, why can't we push this forward? But there's just so many speed bumps that they have to abide by. And yeah.
It kind of fits like the general theme of the movie with just these women just getting overlooked.
Yeah.
And this is just one more way that happens. Just, through the technicality, we can't give any more help. Where you would like,
Yeah.
to any person, you'd be like, well, obviously we should help and we should do more that we can. But like, sorry.
I
In
think
this case, we can't do it. Oh,
Yeah.
Wasn't it like the
sorry.
epilogue is, every demographic has reports of missing persons except for Native American women. Or
Which
Native
I mean,
Americans.
looking at that, this was in 2017. So even you would hope in the next 4 years, as we're in now,
Yeah.
that there might be some kind of statistic for something
Well,
like that.
these events themselves, they happened, like 2012, wasn't it?
I didn't look
I
into
don't
that.
know.
I saw at the beginning that it was
Yeah.
based on actual like events.
Yeah.
But I didn't dive deep into that one. I'm usually not the researcher in this. Mike is usually the researcher. Like if you heard the podcast, like Mike when we did Chinatown, he was talking about the water crisis. I was like, yep, that's sure did. We went through that as Californians. But yeah, I didn't do any research on that besides none. And actually, you know what I did do is when the movie came out, who directed it and how much the box office was.
That's the only thing that matters to you.
But
Not that much money.
I mean, I've barely heard about this movie, but I feel like the whole conversation about Native Americans and them reclaiming their reservation hasn't really been a heavy topic since maybe like until the past couple of years.
So Pipeline's trying to go through that and shit.
Well, Pipeline, I mean, that was back in 2016, but also Supreme Court did something with the native land in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I think they reclaimed that reservation to the natives.
When did that happen?
2-3 years ago, I think.
During Trump? Wow.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah, during Trump. But even so, I think I was able to appreciate this movie even more because I'm watching Reservation Dogs on Hulu.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
But
I mean, we were going to talk about the end, Megan, but it's cool. Like anything
We're
you want to
getting
reference,
fine.
right?
You know, you can cut this out.
Today's sponsor is Hulu, everybody. You get a free trial if you type in Spectacular at checkout. Spectacular for Hulu.
But yeah, it allowed me to give like kind of have like more of an understanding, even some of like the phrases that they said. But
Like res. It took me a
The
moment. I was like,
res,
what are they
yeah,
talking about, res? Oh, reservation. I get it.
Yeah.
But what other slang, or not slang, but what other terms do you hear?
One that I first picked up from the show was like hokahay, and I think that's like, oh, let's go, or like hurry up kind of thing. And I heard that in this movie, so I was like, oh, I like that they're actually keeping consistency in their culture and their language. So I thought that was.
It just makes everything like you can appreciate it more.
Yeah,
you almost feel like excited.
Nothing's like tokenized.
Yeah.
Nothing's like. I don't know how else to put it, but you know, it's just even with I think it was like season 2 in Fargo, that one actor, he's Native American, but I mean, I feel like even then they were still seeing him as like the token Native American.
Which I thought there would be two issues here, and let me get your opinion on it because
I'm listening.
I'm looking straight at Brandon only. No, the idea of kind of like the Kevin Costner Dances with Wolves-ness of it.
Oh, it's like the white savior.
Yeah, the white savior. And then two, which I think has been recently like the issue of like the exploitation of a woman to just further the plot, which is like everyone's having an issue with
like Deadpool
just
2.
What do they call it? They call it
fucking...
like the fringe character or something. Yeah, where they're the catalyst. They're the reason why this person's becoming this character.
Right. But like even in this movie, when I was like aware of it, I was like, oh man, I wonder if that's like an issue. Like going back watching the movie, like that's like an issue I have to address. But maybe I was just like so engrossed in the movie, like I didn't, or maybe it didn't pan, like you said, like it just seemed authentic to me, or
it's
something.
hard to say if
It's
it
hard to
seems
say,
authentic
right?
because that's what we've been watching since movies were made.
Yeah.
You know, so I enjoyed it. I don't think anything was out of place. I mean, there is even the conversation where, you know, Corey or Jeremy Renner's character, Corey, is like, we this, we that. And then the victims, the daughter,
brother.
the dad is like, what's this we shit?
Yeah.
I think that was the son of the father.
Natalie's brother.
Yeah, in the
you're
back
right,
of the, in the back
Natalie's
of the
brother.
in the
He's
cop
like,
car
what's
or
this we
whatever.
shit?
Renner didn't fully say what happened to the daughter, right?
No, he
Like
didn't.
he went into it and then he got to a point and he was just like,
Well, no, he said as much as he knows because it's
because they found her and
she had gone missing for however long it was, and then they just found her inside the room.
I don't know if it was also implied that she was also raped before.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he didn't specifically say, but yeah, I was kind of like, ugh.
Yeah.
So this is a great movie.
Well, that's like
it is a great movie,
And
but it's the
life's traumatic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The world's traumatic. Like
it sucks.
Like I feel myself like just scrolling through like news like throughout the day, and I'm like, I'm just getting like more and more bummed out. But I mean, it's either that being bummed out or just not aware and ignorant to it all. Like, is that better? I mean, it's better for me to just not
kinda,
know.
in some cases.
I know I get burnout, and I don't want to get burnout to a point where I become desensitized by all of this traumatic information. So I have to take a break from it from time to time.
True.
But I don't think I would like to think that's not making me ignorant. It's just I'm aware of it, but I just to be always involved in it is taxing. But
Wow, Megan, way to really put us.
Well, that being said, but like with movies,
but I was just gonna finish.
No, go ahead,
what
Megan.
you
You're
said.
on. You're,
Yeah.
you
Well,
got
I
the
know. I
floor.
was just going to
This is
bring
your
up
show today.
with the victims in this movie. It's like, well, what happened to your daughter? Why did you let her out with this guy? It's like that whole conversation. It's like, why is it the girl's fault? Why is it the woman's fault? And even the dad's like, I trusted her.
Yeah.
It's like, that's absolutely how you should face things. It just sucks that there's a lot of predators out there that are seen as entitled or
well, the
worthy.
movie itself gives both views. It's
Yeah.
Martin saying, I trusted her. Like, she's an adult. Like, I trust her.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to keep her under lock and key. At the same time, later on in the movie, when Renner's talking about his daughter, he's like, if you just drop the ball for 1 second and it comes so like...
It's two sides of the coin of remorse.
Yeah, exactly.
And grieving. Yeah.
Powerful,
What do you have to say,
bro.
Brandon?
So my next note says she didn't wear the right clothes. No.
She wore
Yeah. It's,
whatever it took to protect her from negative 30-degree weather.
Yeah. Well, she looked like she was wearing flats. No, but I mean that is a note I wrote.
Should always
but,
have socks on when you're in Wyoming. I
Yeah, you
always
gotta
say
be
that.
like
Oh,
they said
that's
there
just the
too.
ultimate socks with water, like puddle water, but you're in ice. That's ugh. No
yeah.
thanks.
I'm not a fan of snow, but what to say what you guys are talking about though, because I didn't say much as you guys are going about that is, yeah, it's an absolute two-sided coin because for her point of view to talk to the dad, like, yeah, why did you do this? Why did you do this? And he's again, well, what can I do? She's an adult, 18. Yeah, she's living under my home or under my roof, but like at the same time, I trust her.
Yeah.
And she's going out. Well, going to meet. From what I would seem, he didn't know that she was going to meet with him because if you recall, when she met up with Barenthal, he was like, "Wait, what are you doing here?" And she's like, "Oh, my friend dropped me off at the turnpike, and then I, walked here or something like that." So even if the dad was like, "Okay, go have fun with Megan tonight," like he didn't know that she was going to go meet with Barenthal or wanted to. But either way, like as a parent, you would hope that your child is doing what's right, or not necessarily what's right, but just you're not doing shit that's wrong, that's fucked up, and you're going behind the parent's back or whatever. That you can trust your child.
Yeah.
But then obviously I don't have kids. I have a cat, and as he's a fucker.
From 3 non-parents, I think we're making
Yeah.
super good points.
From 3 people that have no kids, none of you have animals.
But yeah,
except
like-
me. But
I mean, you can't, there's the bubble. Like, you can't just live in the bubble. Like,
Yeah.
you have to experience the world, and then you just want to hope you're making the right decisions.
well, the NBA lived in a bubble a couple years ago, and the Lakers came out on top.
Oh,
Thankfully.
that's a good. I didn't think about
Who were
that.
their parents?
That's right.
I don't try to talk about them and with the decisions they've made as parents. But so I to go on a lighter note, yeah, I do actually have that point of she did not come prepared. But at the same time, what would you expect?
What do you mean she didn't come prepared?
Like, well, she came from Vegas. Like, she wasn't wearing the right clothes. So I don't put that on her in a bad way because, like, she came straight from there to Wyoming. And so she didn't have the right gear. And they're, oh, you should always carry an emergency bag. And she's like, well, it's not even my car. It's like, it's a rental. And, but when the grandma gave her the clothes to use too, and just seeing that it was the exact outfit that Renner's daughter wore, it's kind of like, ugh.
Those are her clothes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's why the grandma said, like, oh, those are my granddaughters. But like the whole, and then even Renner's face when he saw her when she was wearing it, I was like, ugh, that's gotta be
Oh, I
tough.
didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's got to be tough because they're like joking in the living room or something like that, and he turns around and sees her, and he kind of like, there's like this
Second of.
a second of just kind of like, that's my kids.
Yeah.
I think even the son looked at her in a way too, and again, at this time you don't know what happened to the daughter, you just know that she's no longer there.
Yeah.
But yeah, what does she have? Just like a jacket and some slacks and some flats, and she shows up, fucking snow. But
Well,
know,
I mean, she was
yeah.
coming from Vegas. It's like 110.
no, I get
degrees.
it. I get it. Well, how do we? Oh yeah, it's spring. Yeah, I remember in the movie she says it's spring. So, was there? I mean, there was a little bit of humor in this movie, but
Graham's funny.
Who?
The cop, the sheriff.
Oh yeah. Comedy relief for sure. I've said this many times that even though a movie is a drama or the whole thing's supposed to be suspense, there has to be some kind of break at some points, because as a viewer, if you're in just constant like tenseness, I mean that just it's not going to sit well. And so there should always be the occasional, whether it's a joke or something to like ease that tension. And yeah, he definitely was. I mean, no, Renner had a few jokes too, even Elizabeth Olsen. But if those weren't there, I think this would have been like a tough pill to swallow. It already was.
Well, I think the action in and of itself is a little bit of a break, right? Because like it's dread
Yeah.
and then pretty sweet action. Like,
In
it
all
helps.
honesty, I don't remember any of the comic reliefs during this movie.
It's tiny,
It's-
tiny
yeah,
stuff.
it's like-
real.
Well, yeah, it's not
Yeah.
obviously comic relief, but like even just like a beat of someone's like just staring at someone. Like I didn't really.
Wow,
pick
Megan,
it
pay
up.
attention. Okay.
I'll do
If you,
better.
if you could just watch the movie one more time, we'll stop this.
Yeah, we're gonna stop
Okay.
this.
You can watch it once more. We'll just chill in here. We'll eat your whatever
We'll
you got
add
in the
another
fridge.
hour and a half because you're gonna watch it in real time with me.
Oh, we'll live stream it too. We'll put it on Instagram as we're watching it. For that.
Why is this episode 2.5
A lot of me
hours
is just gonna
long?
be like,
Yeah.
oh, that's what it was.
So, Mike, you have notes too. Like, what's something that you have written or something that's stand out to you? Is this candy?
Let's see what we
Oh, I
got
don't
on
want none
here.
of that.
I think we covered a lot of this stuff already. So I don't think you guys listened to them, but either you guys listened to At the Drive-In, the band At the Drive-In. Back in
I
the day?
listen to Mars Volta
Okay.
and a little bit of At the Drive-In, but they're pretty similar with how they sound. I would think.
Okay, well, that's not the point. Anyway, so back in the day, they had a song called "Invalid Litter Depot."
I don't know what that is.
Okay, that's fine. But they had like an accompanying music video where it talked about women in Juarez, Mexico, who work in these factories, American factories over the border, and then just there's 500 of like unsolved women missing mysteries. So it's pretty powerful video. But like as soon as I started watching this movie, like that's the first thing that came to my mind. But I don't know if anyone else
Yeah.
No.
has ever seen that or heard that song. It just immediately
Why don't you sing it for
only
came
us?
to my head.
Why don't you sing it for us?
Okay, I'm done.
Thanks. So I only
It's
know,
a great song, by the way.
Yeah.
But,
I
all
only
right.
I only know At the Drive-In because of you. I have known Mars Volta before you, but At the Drive-In. Well, actually, that's not true. That once the scissors.
One Arm Treasure.
Yeah, One Arm Scissor. I knew that song, but I didn't know that was them until I met you, and you're like, oh yeah. What was it? Omar was one of them.
Omar Rodriguez.
Cedric. Those are the two brothers, right?
They're not brothers. They just
I don't
They're
know.
just
Then you
good
just
old
rock my
friends.
whole world.
they're soul music brothers, but they're
Okay.
not brothers.
Okay,
Anyway.
but were there brothers at the drive-in?
No. Oh my God! Now you're making me think.
Wow.
Tony,
I
Paul.
think you know somebody.
Yeah.
Mike also likes the Deftones. I'm sure I can ask you everything about the Deftones, and you'd know.
There are brothers in the Mars Volta because Marcel, who's Omar's brother, joined.
Okay,
later on as
that
a-
might be what I'm thinking then. Not okay. So then not Mars Volta. So have either of you ever been pepper sprayed or maced before?
No.
No.
I've been pepper sprayed.
I've had dog pepper spray spill on my leg at work, and it burned
Your skin or your eyes?
on my skin through my
Okay.
pants.
Oh yeah. I've been pepper sprayed on accident because my grandpa had one when I was growing up. I was like, "What's this?" And it was just right into my face, like, and it hurt.
Yeah.
But from what it was, but it wasn't lasting. Like it would definitely, if you're running at somebody and you spray it, like they're gonna be like, ah, but it's not gonna stop them. Mace, like you saw in that shit. I mean, from what I've read, that shit'll fuck you hard. I mean, they were like foaming at the mouth a little bit, or at least
Yeah,
the
she
sheriff was.
puked and it's just.
Her face was all red and stuff like that. Like
So
irritated.
being pepper sprayed, is that visual that we see from Elizabeth Olsen's point of view?
Again, pepper spray hurts.
Yeah,
but
like
I
that
was able to
blinding
open my eyes and like it like
obstructed
hurt, but
view.
it wasn't like a redness around. Like I didn't have like a
I felt
blurred
like a video
vision.
game when I saw that. I was like, oh, is this the part where you're being attacked by, I don't know, an opponent? And then you're.
Do you
Yeah.
play video games,
How
Megan?
good, how
Like,
good
what
would your
hours do you-
aim have been?
I play
after?
a game or a game.
Okay. Wow. I mean, I'm glad it didn't go into that kind of point of view because it makes me think of the movie Doom, and they did that in Doom with the Rock.
Rock.
Yeah, and who was the other guy in that? I think it was Carl Urban. Honestly, I think Carl Urban was the other lead, and I love Carl Urban. We watched, Dread. Anyway,
Let me guess, he wore his costume the whole time and
he
made
grimaced.
everyone.
He grimaced. I'm like, motherfucker. No, but in that movie, they did do a POV shot, and it was supposed to be like Doom.
I thought
the
that whole
game.
movie was POV.
Oh fuck no.
Okay, good.
But it's just one part. And at first, when I saw it in the trailer, I was like, cool. And then I saw the movie,
And you kick flipped out of there.
yeah, I kickflip, body varial, doubles, backsmith, the handrail. That's not a possible trick. But I was excited.
bro.
I did. What is it? Kickflip, double fakie, ollie grind. That was in a commercial.
That's the one I was thinking of.
It was a
That
commercial
was
with
it.
Bucky Lasik. Anyway, so, but there was a shot in Doom where they did it, and by the time that scene came up in the movie, I already hated it because that movie sucked. But yeah, like
sucks.
The Rock became the bad guy, and it was just if I just spoiled that part of the movie, then he becomes one
So
of the
much
demons.
for next week's episode.
I know, fuck. Anyway, so Mike, you said we covered a lot of your stuff.
Yeah.
Megan, like, is there anything that you'd want anything else you'd want to think that you could discuss about this movie too?
I mean, just more of a curious question. What did it say in the area where they found the brother? Like on the wall, it said something about cowboys.
Yeah, I saw that dead cowboys. Something like it was in the spray paint, right?
Yeah.
I only the part I made it was dead cowboys,
Cowboys,
or kill cowboys or something along those lines. I mean, really, that character the Sam character didn't play a huge part. The brother played a much larger part.
Yeah.
And like thinking about that, even when the father started crying to Renner, that fucking sucked. Like I was like, like I was close to crying myself, and then I mean that's tough.
The way that whole scene played out, you forget that she just died.
Yeah.
This was within
Like a day.
24 hours.
Yeah.
And, the mom cutting herself.
Yeah, that was something that I wanted to write down. Like, why is she doing this? But I feel like it's just because grief.
It's grief. There's nothing else to it. And I think it just wasn't her place to intervene.
Right.
And, that whole interaction just sucked because the dad was grieving in his own way until Jeremy goes up to him and he just breaks down.
Yeah.
That reminds me a little bit of the Hereditary. Remember when we see Toni Collette like just bawling after,
Like, oh god, like that. Yeah,
just get me now. Like, oh, this is something like we shouldn't even see. Like, this is so personal.
Yeah.
So I got another one. I was like, oh great, 2 movies in a row. That's awesome. But,
It's okay. First of all, there's a gap in between there. There's dread.
but I'm just, it's like, it's so raw. Like, oh my god,
Yeah.
like to actually see it on film. Like, ooh, that's tough to take. But I mean, this movie's tough to take, so it should be in there. But it's like, ooh, like
Even Elizabeth Olsen crying in the hotel, like, or oh my god, in the hospital.
In the hospital.
Like, Renner's just trying to be like light about stuff, like reading her shit, but just her last words, like,
6
she didn't
miles,
die.
yeah.
But yeah, the fact that the girl ran 6 miles, and Renner was like kind of. Like, yeah, she did. Like, kind of proud, but in a sense that, like, yeah, she's fucking strong. She's a warrior, like he had said. And the other dude didn't even make it, like he said, 600 feet. Like, he maybe made it.
I love how
100.
sniveling.
Oh
and
my god,
just-
that was so
It's so rewarding.
Yeah.
But you don't even know how.
You don't
far
even know.
You don't even know. No, I mean, you don't even know how far she ran until the end.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. I don't know if it was disclosed to the audience when he tells the guy or when he tells Elizabeth in the hospital. And I think that's when she realized how.
I mean, your body will
that
fucking
was.
do amazing things. Like, if you're pumped up on adrenaline, I mean, would have been scared and adrenaline. Like, I mean, you to see your boyfriend getting beaten up by like 5 dudes and like he's just telling you to fucking run. I mean, you don't got time to grab your boots. You just get the fuck out. And I mean,
But to think about 6 miles in that altitude, because I mean, I've gone. I think like it was like a few weeks ago. Eric and I went to Washington, and we did like a couple of hikes, and then we went down maybe a mile to this lake, and it was in the early morning, but it was high up there, and so when we were walking back up, I had to take multiple stops because the air was so thin, and I'm also I'm out of shape, but
we all are.
But
Megan.
also,
We're all out of shape. Like COVID-20 easily right here on this
but
belly.
the air was just so thin, and so to think that she
Where
was
did you go? I'm
running,
sorry, Washington.
Washington. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So she was running.
So she was running at night in Wyoming during
Moonlight.
Negative
at,
20
at
degrees.
best, moonlight only to see where you're going.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking to breathe harshly in that air, in and out for 6 miles. I'm just like, and I'm thinking if she hadn't tripped, I think that's one of the things that came to mind after the movie finished. I was like, if she hadn't tripped, would she have kept going? Would she have?
Even
how
if
much
she
farther she
did,
would've
yeah,
gone.
even if she did, I mean, she's had to been a goner. Like, there's no way.
I mean,
Yeah, it's just the air. Just obliterating your lungs. And just
filling up blood.
Filling up
Yeah,
blood.
crystallizing.
I'm thinking, did she know where she was running, or was she just running?
I think she's just running.
Yeah.
Like I mean,
Well, everything's so remote. Like, what was the
but
nearest thing anyways?
but,
Like
I mean-
20 miles away?
Isn't she a local in that
right,
area?
but it's
so-
still like pitch black with just like some moonlight. I mean,
Yeah.
granted, yes, if you're a local, I'm sure you might know some shit. But I mean, I feel like I would just fucking run.
Yeah.
Like as far away as where I was, I just want to beeline the opposite fucking direction, especially with what she just went through.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Plus, you have like the wherewithal to know, like, oh, I shouldn't run on the road out of here because the guys might come looking for
That's
me.
true.
So who knows?
Yeah, and the other thing too, kind of pedaling back to Jeremy kind of disclosing about what happened with his daughter. It's like there's a point where they couldn't even recognize. I don't know if they couldn't recognize her, or they couldn't recognize the cause of death because the coyotes got to her. Which I'm just like, that is so depressing.
Oh, his daughter.
His daughter.
Yeah.
And that's what happens to Barenthal, right? That's why he's all chewed up.
Yeah, he's all chewed
when
up.
they find him. In
Well,
the
actually,
snow.
that's confusing too. So they found the random body, which was supposed to be Renner's, right? Because when they get there, that bird was chewing it up.
Barenthal.
Well, what did I say? Yeah, Renner. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's the bird, the hawk.
Is it Barenthal or Barenthal?
Bernthal.
Okay.
Bernthal.
Bernthal.
The Bernstein Bears.
I mean, calling it a crab apple.
Is it Bernthal or Berthal? Huh?
So that was the body they found when the bird was chewing it up, right? But then the part later, before Renner was sniping those guys, was that he was at the den for the lions. But then that's where he saw the trail that led to...
So he went back to the site where they found the body,
Okay.
right? And he's like, "Oh, the lions are here too, I guess, or nearby." But then he saw the tracks which led from where they found John's body, and he saw them leading down to the oil. where the
Well, no.
security
So
guard
I
is.
thought it was... Okay, when he and Elizabeth
That's how they
Olsen-
know. That's how he knows they're in danger.
Right.
Because the tracks went from where they found his body back to the
But
security.
I don't remember the body being... So, again, I know when he and Elizabeth found it, like, because they were walking, and it was, like, half mile from where the tree line is or whatever. But then there was, like... When he went back, I thought he was just going around as an alternate route to get to where the sheriff and all
I
them were
want
going.
to say he goes like, "You guys do that. I'm gonna go back up there see if I find anything else."
Yeah, because
Of interest.
I think at some point he was following paw prints.
Yeah, as he was riding, he saw the paw prints, and then he got off and was like, "I'm gonna fucking follow this."
Yeah.
And my thought was like, I thought you had a task. Like I thought you're gonna be their backup, motherfucker. You're gonna get sidetracked. Like he has ADD like me.
No,
Like,
he
hey,
didn't know.
look,
He didn't
See,
like.
that was a
Oh, I'll take
mission
the high
he had to do
ground.
before the main story.
While you guys are.
Hell or high ground. What was that, Megan?
No, nothing. It's
Okay.
a stupid video game joke.
It's okay. I mean, I probably would have got it if you would have said it again. It's cool. I get it. Mike doesn't play games. I do. So anyway, do you? You don't play? You've never really? Yeah, you never. That sucks. So anyway, I do.
Is there more Call of Duties other than the World War II one that came out on
PlayStation 2? Yeah.
Frontline?
There's
Is it Frontline?
there's World at War that was on PlayStation 2.
No idea.
Okay. I mean, after Modern Warfare, they made War for 2, and then there's other ones.
Black Ops.
Yeah, there's some Black Ops 2. And that was a different production company or video game designer company too. That was true.
I'm sorry I even mentioned this.
Yeah.
Good lord.
What games do you play, Megan?
I did Kingdom Hearts. Eric and I just finished Jack and Daxter.
Okay.
So it was
The
first
original
version.
PlayStation 2, Jack and Daxter?
Eric has the bundle, so he was able to play on the PS4.
Okay.
So he did mostly.
Guess I haven't got a 5 yet, huh?
No, I want to. I actually want my first console to be the PS5 just because of all the games that are coming out. So, and even Spider-Man. Just
Yeah, that trailer. When I
Alex.
saw that trailer the other day, I was like, "Ooh, Venom."
Mm-hmm.
My dad got a Xbox, a new Xbox.
You're still on Xbox?
Still on? I think if I went back to console, I'd still be on Xbox because I'm
I
on
thought
PC.
you were always Xbox.
I am, but then I went to
Okay.
PC because it's just
Okay.
a better
But
situation.
you
Is
never
there a new
switch over to
Xbox?
PS5.
Yeah, there's Xbox One, and then there's Scarlet. No, what's it called?
I think you're right.
Is it Scarlet? I don't even fucking know. It just looks like it's a
just
rectangle.
Another box.
Yeah, it's a rectangle that goes upright. It doesn't go horizontal.
Oh, you talk about the Xbox box?
Yeah, the Xbox
The
squared.
Xbox squared.
Yeah, it's Xbox squared. So this
It's like a cube with games in
The
it.
Xbox
Yeah.
GameCube.
Well, they have a version. There's
The
one that's
Cubic games.
there's one that's strictly digital that you can just download all your shit, and then there's one that's discs. I would still always want to get a disc one just
Yeah.
in case, but you can save money if you go digital. Although the PC that I built has no disc drive, so I mean whatever. But all the games I can get are
My car doesn't have a CD player, so I feel your pain.
I don't think mine does either. Yeah.
Wow, the future is now.
Yeah, we're in it, man. The Matrix is here to stay. Did you see the Matrix trailer?
No.
I
Megan?
did. Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm excited for it.
Yeah. I kind of have the nostalgia of the first Matrix, not 2 and 3. We don't want to talk about
I
those.
never watched 2 and 3.
Okay,
so
good. Keep it that
it's
way,
good for me.
please.
Yeah.
Keep it that way. They
You're
weren't
missing everything.
Oh,
Okay,
so
they
it's
were-
not even like a, hey, watch it just for the sake of it. Even though it has
Right.
nothing to do with it. So
Like,
that's good to know.
I really I would say just watch those if you do have the time, but it's just going to tarnish everything you loved about the first one. And so
Well, I also like how with this one, it's only one of the Wachowski siblings.
I think it's Lana. That's this
Lana,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't even
I
know
don't
the
remember
other
his
one.
sister's name. But like even just watching it though, I'm like, this is fun. Like it brings me back to what was that 99, 98 that came out, and revolutionized filmmaking at that time. I mean, the way they did the bullet time and shit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck. Anyhow, and it's too bad a lot of the movies they've made since were not the best. Like Speed Racer, they did what's that
I got
one
No Desire.
with Idris?
Cloud Atlas.
Yeah, that was horrible. Yes, hopefully this
I appreciate the ambition.
Oh,
I
what
do.
was it?
I want
What's
no
the one
part
with
of
Mila
it, but I
Kunis?
appreciate it.
Jupiter Spring or something.
Oh, Jupiter Ascending.
Ascending.
Jupiter Rising.
That was them?
Rising.
I think it's Jupiter Rising. That was with Mila
Descending.
Kunis.
I had like Channing Tatum with like the ears or something.
Yeah, he
had
could fly.
gills?
No, he was like a dog.
Web feet.
Of
I think he had web
space
feet.
He had like winged
soldier.
feet, so he can fly.
Oh.
It was like he had rollerblades.
sounds
He was
like
like
a
he was rollerblading in the air.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Laser blades?
Sure. And what's his name was in it? The guy that was in The Theory of Everything.
Oh,
Eddie Redmayne.
Redmayne. He was the bad guy, and he's like, "You talk like this" or something. And I was like, "What the fuck? You are an Oscar-winning whatever." Okay, so this movie, I would say that we enjoyed it in the way that you would enjoy a horrible movie. No, I'm sorry.
No.
You would enjoy a bummer movie.
Well, you enjoy it like you enjoy
I
Schindler's
think-
List.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's you appreciate the movie.
Yeah.
But yet you're not gonna be like, man, did you guys see the new Wind River? Like
I don't know. To
it's-
be honest, like talking about it right now, I kind of want to rewatch it. I mean, it's just me.
Wind River.
rewatch
Wind River?
Wind River.
Rewatch
we
Wind
watch
River.
Wind River.
The Verger. Fuck,
I
love Dirty
think
Rock.
if the movie didn't end the way it did,
It'd be a tough
I
sell.
would have just been so depressed, and I would have been like, I don't think I really enjoyed this movie because there was really no redemption.
Yeah.
Even though
There
that's
was
not
some
really how it.
redemption. Like, yeah,
No,
the
I mean, like,
guy's
there is
dead.
There is
Like,
redemption,
yeah.
but I'm saying if it didn't end
Oh, okay.
the way it did.
I honestly thought if they would have ended it on Elizabeth Olsen, that would even been like that would have been tough. But I kind of might have liked that a little better. Like
Yeah.
if Renner went to the dad first and kind of had like their heart to heart, like how hey, you gotta take care of your kid.
I mean, that's
and-
one of the most heartbreaking parts where he says, "Oh, I'm wearing my death mask.
Yeah.
But I'm just painting it because there's no one else to teach me."
Oh, I know.
That's tough.
I mean, just think about it. Because I mean, I finished.
Yeah.
I watched the movie today, just so it's the freshest in my mind.
Uh-huh.
And even that, yeah, I was like, this is bumming me out.
It's like you're spoiled to think that they're always going to teach their descendants
Yeah.
about their
It's
practices.
like
and everything.
conquering, where you just like,
But it's like he's trying to grasp his own culture
yeah.
by just making something that might make sense. But
It's like you think of like conquering armies, like just destroying the libraries and like
Mm-hmm.
erasing the existence. Just
Of
that's
culture.
that's victory. Like just
Yep.
erasing
A lot
this
of
cultural
ethnic
existence.
cleansing
Yeah.
and
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Eee.
America.
Sorry. So one thing about the actual like procedural of it, like there's only like 2 reveals, correct? If I'm not mistaken. It's when they have the shootout in the trailer where they learn Barenthal's name,
Yeah.
which I already forgot, Ricky or something like that.
When the
Matt.
Ricky Baker.
On Ricky Baker.
Finding out his name so they know he exists.
Yeah.
And then finding his body. Well, that's pretty much it, right?
I do like that whole flashback setup where
That
she's
is- that's
knocking
good, yeah.
and you think that it's the same timeline, but it's not. I was like,
Well, you
that's
don't
not-
even know who the boyfriend is. You don't know who the other guy, what he looks like. So you at first think, oh, that's who this person is.
Yeah.
Like he's just getting out of the fucking shower.
Yeah.
Then that's when he opens the door and it's like, oh, okay, yeah. So like really and when I watched it too, I was like, wait, well, hold on. I thought Baron was the boyfriend. And then the scene unraveled more. I was like, oh, okay, good. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. But I honestly thought that reveal was earlier in the movie from when the first time I watched it. But I mean, that's the past the 3/4 mark. I mean, that's
That's
all
another
falls
thing-
apart.
I was just like so engrossed in the movie, like they're already going to the trailers. I'm sorry, the oil area.
the units, yeah.
And there's like an hour left. I'm like, wait, they're already here, and there's this much movie
Yeah.
left?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I was surprised. I was like,
I
oh
also
man.
my anxiety. I was like, all right, I gotta see where I am on the little
I
marker,
did. I've done that many times too.
just to see like, okay, how much more of this do I have to endure?
In a good way, I would
Like-
endure, in a good way. No.
Yeah, I was like seeing like, okay, yeah, there's like about 30 minutes left. Oh my gosh, there's 30 minutes left, and we're already at this point.
Yeah.
What else do they have to fill in?
Yeah,
Because I'm
that's like
thinking, okay, there's
Yeah, maybe
only
it
gonna
wasn't.
be,
It was like 45 minutes, but I was like, oh my god, they still. But because they still have to do the flashback with
right, yeah,
with,
that makes
Natalie
sense.
and Matt.
And just the group of guys seeing her knocked out, I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like where this
Not
is going.
pleasant. Anyway, so I would say that I did enjoy this movie, and as any way you can actually enjoy a movie for what it is. Not so much the story of it, because it was a fucking bummer, but like the way everything unfolded, the way the acting, the
Yeah.
writing, the way the movie was shot.
I think it was well casted.
Yeah, and so I would say I enjoyed this movie, and again, not in a positive way, but just in a sense.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
But
think the movie
utter
served its
bummer.
purpose.
Yes.
So, Mike, did you enjoy this movie?
Hated it. Hated every minute of it.
Okay, good.
No, I really liked it a lot.
Megan, would you actually say you enjoyed it, or is it just still like a?
I enjoyed it. No, I think I anticipated how much of a bummer movie it was going to be, and I was like, why don't we watch They Came Together instead? But then
Yeah.
after watching this, I was like, I'm glad we're going to be talking about this, because I think there's just a lot more heavy material to discuss in
Right.
in the best way that we can.
Yeah.
Just because you have to. It's part of our country, pretty much.
It's the world. Yeah, it's not
world.
just the country. I mean,
The
it's
universe.
shit like that's happened to her. Fucking women in India.
Yeah.
It's just
It's so glossed over, and not that this movie is a PSA, but it's just shedding light on what isn't being cast or broadcasted.
right.
Yeah, but I enjoyed. Oh, a little fuzzy there. No, I enjoyed it for how the movie was supposed to be enjoyed.
Good. I mean, again, that's what I would imagine. We're all on that same page here. Like,
Yes.
Yeah. I don't mind a tough movie to get through. Like that's
Right.
I'm okay with it.
And that's the thing. I was gonna fast forward even that scene too, because I knew it was coming up. I'm like, I can't watch that. But then I watched it, and it's still like I should have fast forwarded that, because it's just
Yeah.
it's just upsetting. But it is the movie, and that's like the whole thing. That's the whole thing that it's all revolving around. Is this what happened now, or what happened then led to this?
That's like what we're saying. Like, are we gonna scroll through these stories, and
Right.
Or are we gonna experience it and just so?
Because
confront
you
it, yeah.
can scroll past it by skipping the scene, but you're not gonna feel that same pain that she felt.
Right. Well, on an uplifting note, everybody. So we all
Recommend it. Yeah.
Yeah, we all.
It's a hard
recommend
watch,
this.
but I recommend watching it.
Recommend
Right.
it.
And so, as we said earlier, the next movie that we're going to watch is Akira. It's an animated movie on Hulu. So Megan will be on the next episode as well. And so this episode now will be next week. And then, so it'd be the following week after. So we can record anywhere in the next 2 weeks, really. Now, Mike, his schedule is a little different than mine, but he's in our area now. Like, so he's working in like...
And if you want me to go to one of you guys instead.
Well, you're
just-
central to him and
Oh, I am. Okay.
So that's why it works.
Okay.
But at the same time, I mean, I don't, if we do it on a weekend, then we could all get dinner afterwards or whatever, some shit too. I've been hankering Korean barbecue again.
Oh,
like
yes.
bad.
Yes.
Like I was even gonna think like coming here, because you live close to
H Mart.
Which one?
Well, I don't know if you're gonna bring up H Mart. We can just get Korean barbecue meat. And then
Right,
cook it
right.
here.
Well, I mean, I live next to an H Mart or a Zion, but they're opening an H Mart near me. But no, there's fuck, I don't remember the name, but the name of it is like something about a butthole or something like that. But it's a Korean barbecue place. You've been there. I've taken you there.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Stop yelling at
Yeah,
me.
I'm just pointing
I
at you.
haven't
like,
eaten yet, so now I really want Korean barbecue, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Eric
I
would
just-
be.
I did barbecue yesterday though.
That's
and
Korean?
No, just
Well, then.
Mexican.
Okay,
I don't know
so-
what
Wow.
I'm brown.
I
so
get it.
I'm
I get it.
brown.
Wow, way to put that on blast. Do I have Asian barbecue? Because I mean, I'm Filipino. Is there?
I mean, if it walks like a duck and hangs ducks, but
That's fucked up.
The main meat.
well, no, because I was barbecue, so I smelled like barbecue all day yesterday. So
That's what I don't like. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the only thing I don't like about Korean barbecue is that you leave and you have that greasiness. My face is already oily as is.
Oh,
Yeah.
To have the Korean barbecue grease on me, I just rub my finger off and I'll lick it. Bulgogi.
Save it for later.
Spicy pork. Kimchi. I shouldn't really like kimchi. Anyway, we could eat. So next episode, Akira.
I'm excited to see it because, like I said, I don't watch any anime ever.
And that hurts my feelings. I've recommended many
Yeah.
animated
Well,
movies
that's
to you.
how dare.
Like, I know there's like essentials to anime. Like, it's this, Princess Mononoke, and what's the other one?
Howl's.
Spirited Away,
Spirited
Howls.
Away.
Like, those are
So-
all things I should see.
I mean, just to kind of
Love Blue
just
Girl.
say a little tidbit, like there's Hayao Miyazaki who does all of the Studio Ghibli films, and he's kind of known as like the Disney.
Did you see his new one?
Um,
CGI?
I didn't. I'm
Kinda
actually
read
not
some
gonna.
mixed reviews on that.
I'm gonna refuse to see that
Yeah.
one because it does not fit there.
Yeah.
Brand.
Megan turning
But,
a blind eye to difficult things once again, guys.
There's also, and there's also another director called Satoshi Kon, and I love his. I've only seen 2 of his films, but I love them, and one of them is Paprika, which
I've seen
inspired
Paprika. Yeah.
inspired Inception, and
That's the one,
I've heard of that one.
That's the one where she was an actor, right? Or something?
no, you're thinking of Perfect Blue,
You're right. I am.
and
Maybe I
that
haven't seen
inspired
Paprika.
Black Swan.
Okay.
Which I actually have not seen Perfect Blue, but I was really hoping to watch one of his films, but they're not available anywhere. And another one is
I feel like I've seen Paprika. Maybe not.
yeah,
Maybe
it's a very visual.
What's the streaming? Crunchyroll?
Crunchyroll is
It's
one
not
of them.
Crunchyroll.
It's not
I have
on there?
Crunchyroll.
I know, but Crunchyroll
Funimation,
is a streaming like animation thing. Yeah.
There was one about jazz that I keep wanting to see.
Jazz.
Jazz.
It's like these-
Kids on the Slope.
Yeah.
It's
Did
a
you see
good
it?
anime. I highly recommend
Okay,
it.
that's what I want.
Even the way they animate the drum playing and the piano playing is so. It feels so.
Now I need to-
satisfying
I'm gonna borrow
because-
I'm gonna borrow your login information. 'Cause I
There's
don't-
for
fuck Megan, you might know it. There was a series that came out. I think it was only one season, and it was about a kid with a bat on rollerblades, and he hit like these 8 people, and then they all had different experiences with this kid, but it was like a psychological thing. And I feel like it starts with an R or a
Oh,
P.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the name, and I haven't seen it, but I know it's a new anime.
No,
No,
this was
it's not.
years ago. Yeah, I
Really?
think I
Oh,
saw
okay.
it maybe even before I met
Maybe
you.
someone was recommending it.
But
then.
I'll find out what it is. 'Cause
Okay.
when FYE used to be a thing,
Psychological.
yeah, I would go to it because they had a pretty good anime section, pretty good adult
Yeah.
section.
Yeah,
too.
they
You know what
did.
saying? You know
I'm
what
so
saying?
bummed that they closed.
Yeah, the one that I always went to was the one in Fullerton.
Yeah.
I
I didn't know of any other ones that were nearby.
There, you know, when I used to have all those DVDs that I didn't steal from Blockbuster, I took them to
Allegedly.
that. I don't even know who Eric Steicher is or what that account is, but I think I still have some Blockbuster credit. I'm gonna go to that one in Alaska, where the fuck it is.
So is our like
Ohio.
credit card information and stuff just out there in the world, like just because they closed?
I don't
Like,
even
what
think I had
happens
a-
to all that information?
You know what I think it is? Well, I don't know if you watch that documentary about the last Blockbuster.
Okay.
Like if the computer was gone, it's gone. Like they don't have really
That's good.
parts
That's
to
good.
repair that anymore anyway.
Wow.
But at that time, I don't think I had a credit card. Like I was 19.
Oh yeah. Well, also we were employees, so they didn't have.
Well, they had our social. I guarantee that.
Oh man, it's out there.
Yeah, but I've had many different accounts since then. Same social, of course. Well, I mean to the
A Blockbuster
government.
has
far as
your
anyone
social
Yeah.
security number.
Well, because as you know, when you
As an
work,
employee.
yeah, as an employee, you got.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like as a customer.
I know
Oh,
you
no.
as a drug dealer or whatever you do these days. You don't really have all the information out there.
Yeah.
Us as real
I used
hardworking
to-
American.
Remember how I used to when I'd make people the cards, I would draw my little figure. At that time, if looking back at it, it basically looked like a dick. Like it was a monster. Yes.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
With
Because
the
now
little ears.
no, so that's what I draw now, the monster with the horns. But it used
That's
to
what
just
you draw now as a 35-year-old man.
Yeah. On every receipt that I write, Megan, like when I'm signing for something, I'll always draw my monster, and then
yeah,
I'll put
I remember that.
maybeseries.com just to fucking. You never know.
You know,
No-
instead of a thank you
Yeah.
No.
or anything,
Yeah,
it's,
thanks for your
here's
service.
I mean, it
my
has to be.
art.
It's about him. It's not about
Yeah.
the service.
It's always about me. Guys, I am a Leo. I am a Leo rising.
my
I'm
God,
a Leo
don't.
falling. I am a Leo water. I don't know what all that stuff means. But anyway.
All I know is I'm a Taurus, and on the Chinese calendar, I'm a bull. So we both have
You could take that
you know,
bull any which way you want to look at it. Anyhow.
It's fitting. I think it just means I'm stubborn, but we'll see.
Okay, so Akira,
Akira.
Oh yeah, back to that.
the
What?
following weekend, right?
Yeah, so if we're
I don't
looking at
think-
the calendar.
It's whenever we're available.
Yeah, Megan, like deal with it. So this episode is going to be available on the 26th, and then that means that Akira will be available on the.
You're lucky you're Asian, bro.
That
would not fly on my podcast.
So this one's 26th. So the Akira is going to be it's going to be out the 10th. So we can either record this next week or the week after. So we have still plenty of time.
Sure.
And if we do it during the week, I'm off by like 6.
Is the show still happening right now?
We're still recording.
Hell yeah.
This is going to be in the edit.
aren't
People
you-
want to know the inner workings of it.
Aren't you supposed to be like the outro?
Oh,
of
he'll
this?
do that in a moment. Did
Okay.
you notice that Mike and I'm wearing a Simpsons t-shirt? Mine is Bone Storm from the game that Millhouse plays, and Mike's is...
so proud of you guys.
Because I knew we were doing
And
anime next season.
Oh, that's
or next
exactly
episode.
what it is. You get Mr. Sparkle.
This is why I was wearing it.
Yeah.
there
I
you
just
go.
wore it because it's like, I'm pretty sure Mike's going to wear it because I told him one of the last time I saw him. I was like, you better wear your fucking shirt. I bought Mike
It's how best friends do.
3
It's no
Simpsons
big deal.
shirts. So he has Mr. Sparkle. He has the baseball team. And then,
Oh, the yellow one.
yeah,
That's
it's okay if you don't wear it because I know that color. It's not always the best. Yeah. And then the last one I bought was the...
I don't know.
What'd you
I'm
get
sorry, I
in,
bought 'em three.
Mike?
For me?
Yeah, I bought you.
You bought me 3?
Yeah, I think I did. Was
No,
it 3?
it's just a 2.
Then I got Mike got me for Christmas a cat shirt. There's like a sun or a moon in the background, and there's a cat like.
It's literally, they could name it Brandon shirt, and that's the picture that would come up.
People would see it like, oh yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
yeah.
I fucking love cats. What do you want me to do? Dogs are great, but cats are superior. They just sleep all. Okay. Anyway, guys, next week, the next episode is Akira. And so have a great rest of your time. Megan, thank you for being on this episode.
Of course.
Again, you'll be on the next one. So I retract that.
Quality insights, I must say.
I retract that thank you I
you.
gave you now, and I'll give it to you on the next one. So that way, because that's gonna be your last episode. We only give one person one. We only give people one try. That's why Luis will never be another episode.
All right.
So I
Just
retract.
do
So
a
you're only
quick-
getting this by default because I fucked up.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, everybody. Next episode, Akira, Megan. Thank you for being on it. Mike, why don't you take us away?
Oh, I have a lot of stuff to hit, so do some drums too. Spectacular! Spectacular! 1, 2, 3. Oh, it doesn't rhyme. Whatever. Spectacular!